all of humanity, all of society, it's just one big game of survival. And how basically the only way to get ahead, the only way to find truth and find your true meaning is to understand the game of survival. You have to understand the reasons you do the things you do. You have to pay attention to the reason you drink water, the reason you eat food, the reason why you're scrolling on this content, the reason why you're looking for things. Something I find very fascinating that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to is just human nature in general. Like, do you not pay attention to, like, animals? Do you not realize, like, what other people are doing? Do you not realize their core desires? Because now I go throughout the day and I watch what people do. I watch what I'm conscious of. What is this person doing? And most people aren't conscious. I think this is the main problem of nowadays with addictions and everything. I think it's just low consciousness. I think people are falling core to their primal desires without being aware of the consequences of that action. It's because they run unconscious, because they think, and I thought, I was this way my whole life. I'm not gonna lie to you, I just really changed this the last year. My whole life, I thought that if I just was unconscious, if I was just like the worms on the ground, just crawling around with no care in the world, just surviving, that life would be easier, but it's not. It's not easier not to try. And you have to realize there's so much for you on this earth. There's so much consciousness that this is not me saying I know shit. I'm starting to realize there's a whole nother aspect to this life. I'm starting to realize even with other animals and shit, like, there's so much there to consciousness, to spirituality and shit. I don't know what's there yet. This is just like my intro video to this. But I'm realizing that there's something out there, you know? There's something with spirituality. There's something with nature and truth. If I could sum up my life purpose right now and what I'm really thinking, it's like kind of like between self-actualizing, reaching my potential, getting jacked, getting girls, making all this fucking money and shit. But there's another side of me that wants to find truth. I want to find the true meaning. What was I put here to do? Because all of those things I just said, what are all of those? They're just survival. Everything I've done my whole life has just been survival. I've never actually thought of the purpose. Because if we want to be serious right now, I don't really have to try to survive anymore. I'm really just too good at the game of survival. It's not my main focus anymore. The reason why so many people have addictions and shit, they never find a reason worth fighting for. They never find the worm. The worm wants to fight to survive. He wants to fight to find the nutrients and to reproduce and make more worms. But humans, they're not that simple. I mean, you can be that simple, but there's more on the other side. But the thing is, you have to find your reason to get up in the morning. You have to find your reason to fight. And I just don't think these normal desires just don't seem like they're gonna do it for me. Making the money, fucking the bitches, like, I'm still gonna do the bitches one. Don't think I'm not. That's one of the main things that's on my list. But it's just primal. It's not like it's actually going to fulfill me, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And so right now I'm in this journey of life where I'm trying to find truth. I'm trying to find true meaning. I'm really on the search for my purpose, what I'm actually meant to do. And if I could be honest with you, I'm like a fucking worm. I'm scrolling around in the world, looking for my food, pushing myself every day, and doing what I think I have to do to get there. There's nothing crazy about the worms. They just do what's programmed into them. And it's the same thing that humans do. We do what was programmed into us. But my thing is, I want to choose my programming. I want to choose who I end up being. I want to choose the habits I have. I want to choose my fucking path in this life. I'm not going to follow society. And what you have to understand is all of these desires that you see people having, they're all fucking society, dude. There's another path and I can fucking see it. I just don't have, like, I can't give you any, like, actual tips because I don't know yet. I'm just so fucking happy because life is like a fucking game, dude. It's like a game. These worms, they're just playing a fucking game. It's called the game of life. Most people, they play video games all day, but they never actually think, holy shit, I could just play this game of life. I could just find the truth, the meaning in my own life instead of just playing a game that's made for me to be addicted. I could just play real life and see what's there. See what's on the other side. What can I find there? Dude, I've done my fair share of fucking video games and shit, like 3,000 hours on Rust and 1,000 hours on Rocket League and probably like 3,000 hours on Wizard 101. I've done my fair share, and the nostalgia's there and everything, and the memories are there, but I just don't think I found truth. I don't think I found true meaning. I didn't find anything real there. I think the only way to actually find truth, I think for some people, video games could be their fucking truth, but I think the only way to actually find truth is going to be to deload from everything. Like, this is just going to be my honest opinion on what someone would have to do to find truth. They can't have any addictions. They have to get their life in check. They have to get on a clean diet. They have to start, honestly, at this point, like, carnivore feels good. So I would say just go fucking carnivore. Because most people, their emotions, all their problems, they stem from their diet. They can't make good decisions. It's only because they have fucking sugar in their system. And once somebody, like, cleans up their diet, and just deloads from all shit, bro, sits there and just is with nature. I don't know. There's something that happened with my mind. I don't know what to say. I started to look for truth. And this was a year ago that I fucking did this shit. My diet wasn't clean, but I wasn't eating any simple sugars. I definitely had no brain fog, minimal, and I had fucking direction. I had clarity. I opened up. It's weird. It's like, I feel like most human beings were put on this earth and we don't have a manual. But you don't need a manual as long as you're living a normal fucking lifestyle. But most people, they're put on this world with no manual. Everyone around them is doing terrible habits. Everyone around them is drinking, they're smoking, they're playing video games all day. And so they get taken into this programming. So then they develop all of these addictions. And so they can never find truth. And their mind closes off to the opportunities of reality because they're around a ton of other people that are closed-minded. And this is where you find, like, your cults of, you know, black pillars and all that shit that just think that the world is just all genetics and it's all a lottery. And I would say that too. I mean, I guess if I would have never found the mentors I found, I would have never ended up the way I am. But how many people do you think clicked on this video, watched a minute of it, and then clicked off because what I said didn't match with them? So how much of it is genetic? How much of it is that genetically my mind was open to the idea of reality? My mind was open to the idea of truth. My mind was open to the idea that it's a fucking game. The worms, like, I'm telling you this right now, it's like they're playing an MMORPG. There's quests. They have to do this quest, and then they do this quest, and then they do this quest. And the next day they wake up doing the same quests. But they're not conscious of it. Other animals, they don't have consciousness. They don't have actual, like, prefrontal ability to realize what they're doing in the day. I realize the steps I'm taking. I realize the words I'm saying. I realize everything I do in the day. And I'm still 95% unconscious throughout the day. Most people are literally like 99% unconscious throughout the day. No matter how much you raise your consciousness, no matter how much you try to be conscious, you're gonna realize yourself go AFK. And so you just try to be conscious. That's my only fucking advice. It takes a long time. I've been meditating for like a year straight now. And I think that's the main lever. I've started meditating more, and it's just, the clarity is weird as fuck. It's so weird. It's so weird how, like, after you meditate, you feel like kind of enlightened, like on God. That's like my only way to describe it. You kind of feel like you found the core. You feel like you're like back when you were born. Like you've been reversed back to the core, like, of nature. You feel like you found the core. But then it all comes back right away. And you're back in the world. Another, like, huge thing with meditation for me is just, it gives me so much clarity in my mind. You have to set your own game. You have to make your own rules, your own standards. What are going to be your minimum requirements for this game? What are you going to have to do? Because we all understand the games, bro, in the MMOs. You need a certain level of gear. You need a certain level of this so that you can defeat the monsters. You can't defeat the monsters with no fucking gear. And so this is where people make this mistake where they don't level themselves up, but then they expect to get things in this world. Everything in this world comes to someone who deserves it. Everything in this world comes to the person that has worked on themselves so that they deserve to get that reward. Everything that's come to me in my life, the reason I make a good amount of money and everything like that is because I have changed myself. I've changed my own reality, my own consciousness. I've taken the right actions and I've gotten the reward. I'm not even gonna come on here and say that it feels weird as fuck. But this is the truth of when you start working on yourself, shit starts to line the fuck up. And I think I found this principle, and I think this is the truth of life when you live consciously. As soon as you set a conscious desire to be someone, to improve your life, to try to make that money and reach all of these primal level goals, shit starts happening. Like, I told my mom last night, there's this thing within the world. Your life is like a connect the dots puzzle, except you can't see all of the dots. My life's been like 5 fucking dots. And I've gone from this dot to this dot to this dot to this dot. And in the end, it's going to be a full fucking picture frame. In the end, you'll be able to look at my whole life and say, wow, this guy fucking tried. But the reality of life and the truth is that I had no fucking direction. I had no fucking clue I was going to end up here. I had no clue my life was going to go the way it's gone. I have no clue what's going to happen in my next aspect of life. A lot of life is you envision a better future. I've got a vague vision of what I want, and I take the actions. And I continue to set it up like a game where I do this action, I do this action, I'm trying this, and in the end, I'm hoping I end up here. I've got a good vision of where I want to end up. And through just taking tons of action in the world, you get closer and closer and closer and closer. The thing that I'm starting to realize with this connect the dot puzzle is it's hard because I'm very optimistic. I know I'll win. I know I'll have a good future. I have no limiting beliefs around this shit. I know that I have no other option. But I've realized that in the self-help community, a lot of people have this limiting belief that why can't they do it? You know, it's like, oh, I've got this problem and I've got this problem and I've got this problem. The truth is I never really actually said that. And the truth is I was always just made from the beginning to find truth because I had no limiting beliefs. The information made sense to me. And I'm just now, I see the path. And so for me, this shit's easy. And for you, it might not be. For you, you might have all of these limiting beliefs. And if you do, bruh, comment them below and I'll make videos on them. But the truth is, this is the one thing that I think anyone watching this that has a limiting belief about, you know, reaching success in life and getting to their goals and whatnot. This is the one thing I have to say. What's your other fucking option? You know, like, that's what I always, like, when I wake up in the morning and I want to not do the work, when I want to sleep in and do all this shit, like, just do nothing. What's the other option? Like, you need to visualize failure. You need to stop living in this mindset that life's supposed to be easy. If you have a goal big enough fighting for, I'll tell you this right now, you'll get up. If you have a reason big enough to fight for, you'll get up. If you have someone who you want to fight for, you'll get up. You just have to give yourself a reason to fight. This world, this life is a fight. And I have to tell you, every single day, I'm fighting with all of my will to reach my potential. I'm fighting with everything I have to become my final fucking form. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm starting to view myself as like a fucking anime character that's just training for this big fucking battle. I'm just on this road of just grind. And the end is going to be this big fucking fight. It's called the hero's journey. And that's what life has to be. Your life has to be a hero's journey of trying to become your best self and reach your goals. A hero's journey of reaching your full fucking potential. And you'll have to do this. You'll have to build the business while working a job. You'll have to fucking go to the gym after that, be sleep deprived some mornings. That's a part of the hero's journey. If you want a life that people can't believe is possible, if you want to live a life of true meaning and true purpose and finding truth in all of these things, you have to do something that people haven't done. You have to live a life that people won't live. You have to delay gratification like others won't delay. I think my main thing that I have that most people don't have is that I'm ready to do this shit for 10 years. I'm not on a short horizon. It's not just 10 years either. Like, I see the whole puzzle in my mind, right? I've got the whole vision here. And I understand that this is going to be the first 10 years. And then after that, there's going to be this 10 years. And then who knows what comes up. I know it's going to change. I know the vision's not going to be... I know that my vision now for my future is just 1% of what I'll be. I know what I'm envisioning and imagining my life turns into isn't actually what it will be. It will be way more than that. Because I currently don't have the imagination. I currently don't understand the depths of this world to understand what's really fucking possible. I don't understand how much I really can be because I'm so conformed by society to think this is a lot and this is a lot and this is something, you should be happy with this. But the thing is, I'm 19 years old and I make as much as most people do in a year. I make more than a lot of Americans. I'm like probably in 0.00001% of 19-year-olds living. And I've realized just the addictions I've beat, the path I'm on, how I have direction and all of this shit. Most people don't find direction their whole life. And this isn't me saying like, oh, I'm just better than everyone. I'm on the path so early. And because I'm on the path so early, I just believe that I can actually find the truth, the meaning to everything. And I can actually find, like, I've started young enough. I do believe genuinely. I've started young enough. I wish I would have started at like 5 years old. I think, like, I don't know what age I think really self-improvement and self-development has to start at, but it's got to be directly, like, basically at birth. Because as soon as you're born, when you're younger, it's when you're closest to your nature. So if we're going to be honest, when you knew your purpose, when you knew your fucking meaning on this earth, it was when you were 5 years old. And this is the funniest thing, is that as you grow up and you meet all these new people and you learn all these new things in the school system, it all actually just runs you away from your purpose. It all actually runs you away from who you truly are meant to be. And so when a kid is young, when they're closer to birth, when you're really, really young, that's when you're closest to your human nature. That's when you're most conscious. That's when you've got the most truth, the most meaning. And as you grow up, you lose it. You lose the zest because you don't train it. And so I think personal development has to be started super young. I do believe genuinely I can reach goals that will be unfathomable to most people. I do believe the strides I'll make in my life will shock many. And basically, if I had to sum up like my nutshell goal, I want to be unique. I want to be someone that no one's ever seen before. There's this desire. It's one of the highest or higher desires of a human being. And it's the desire to be someone. And what I've realized is that's the main desire I have in life. I've realized that's the main pull in my life. The things where, you know how when you get up, there's things that you can do easily and there's things you can't do. There's things that are more challenging for me. These people like that I get on calls with and they tell me, oh, I can't get up in the morning. I hate myself and I don't want to do the work. They don't understand how big my pull, my desire, how much my body wants to be someone. They don't understand how much my mind wants to find truth, how I want to find meaning, how I want to become this fucking person. My body drags me out of bed, bro. It makes me go to the gym. Like, I don't think people realize at this point, you would have to try to get me to skip the fucking gym. That's not discipline anymore. Like, I don't use discipline to do many of these habits because the desire is so fucking big that the discipline would have to be for me not to do it. The discipline for me is to go a little lighter in the gym. Like, really, at this point, I'd have to say the discipline would have to be to take it easy in the gym would be harder than it is to just go all out. I have this desire to be truly someone in this world. I have this desire to truly find my meaning, my purpose, my core to this earth. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I can offer. I don't know what I'll be able to find, but I'm kind of just making these videos as like a documentary now. This is going to be the documentary of Ben Engel's life, of Ben finding true meaning and truly finding himself. Because now it's time in my life where I uncover everything. I've bought the course. I've got this life purpose course from actualize.org. And basically it's all about finding the true meaning, uncovering the trauma, and all this shit. And this dude knows what he's talking about. Like, I've already been able to connect the consciousness between him and everything else, and it all makes sense. And so I have the course, and I think lying deep within the trauma of my life, what I'll let you know is that I don't remember anything. I really remember nothing. And lying somewhere beneath all of the trauma that happened in my past, like, there's been a few things that I think could be the problem. Like, I got celiac disease in 6th grade, which basically meant I had to change my whole diet. I got bullied my whole fucking life. Like, one of those two things could be a lot of it. And then, like, mentally, I've got really bad issues with just not feeling good enough and not feeling like I am enough or I'll ever be enough. Those are my 3 main fucking traumas that I can think about. And then the bullying is definitely the main one, because my brother bullied me my whole fucking life. I went to school and I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And, like, those 3 things right there, like, just talking about it, I can just feel the pain inside of me. And so somewhere within that trauma, somewhere when I uncover all of that and just sit with it and let it just fucking burn and just feel that fucking pain, somewhere within there will be something. I just can tell there's going to be something there. Something that's been covered up, that has been a piece, a catalyst of my true self. On top of that, I now have the resources. I now have the direction. I mean, I've had direction the last year, but now I have, like, the course that I think will give me the last little bit of direction. And so that's really my plan right now in life. Go through that course, find out my true meaning, my true purpose, what I was actually made to fight for. Because I don't know what it is yet. I really don't. I've got ideas, but every time I think about, like, what can I give to this earth that would actually give back? What can I do to show people there's opportunities in this world that they can really be someone? I just don't know what I can do, like, really. The only thing I ever really think about is, like, become fucking Chad, because then I can maybe, motivate others to go along on the journey. And that's what kind of, like, this documentary is. And that's why I'm just doing it, because I feel like not only if it's not my true meaning, it'll be nice to come back to. I'll always document my life, because I always want to be able to come back to these moments and remember them. But it could be my fucking meaning. It could be my purpose. To grow, to build, like, my own little fucking community of helping people to improve their lives. But it just seems so fucking, like, done before. It doesn't seem right. And so, and the truth here could be that, like, every single person's different, right? And I'm very different. So it could be just the fact of documenting my life, my own thoughts, and maybe I just have different consciousness that other people connect with, because you'll probably learn this throughout your life. You mesh with some people and you don't with others. And some people, you say things and they get it, and some people you say things and they're, like, genuinely brain dead. You just don't connect. And after I find my purpose, or at least what I think it could be from this course, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm just gonna give it everything I have. I probably won't quit my job. I probably won't do anything too crazy like that yet. I'm probably gonna wait about 2 years to quit, and then I'll go all in on my purpose. But if I know what my purpose is, I just hope y'all know. 120-hour weeks out this motherfucker. 120, easy light. 60 at work, 80 out. Oh wait, no, that's fucking, I fucked up the math, dude. Yeah, I'm so fucking sleep deprived right now. I had a bad night of sleep last night. But yeah, like, I'll fucking work towards it, you know? I've learned that too in life. It's like, sometimes you have to make the smart play instead of the dumb play. And regardless if survival is, you know, this core desire, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of the actions I'm taking. I'm aware that I'm working a job just to prolong my survival, you know, basically set myself up in the future so that I can basically take like 20 years off from doing anything and just go all in on my purpose, my dreams, and everything like that. I don't want to do that now. You know, it just doesn't seem like the right time to do. And I think I'll know when it's the right time to go all in. I think I'll know when it's the right time to truly quit, and just the purpose will be there. Everything will be lined up. And I can like envision basically what will happen. The income will start coming from the business, and then I'll be like, oh, well, we'll keep going with this. You keep going, and then eventually your income matches your income at work, and then you just quit. And it's like, fuck. That's the truth of what will happen. And so when that happens, then it basically makes no sense not to go all in. And what I really want to end this off with is that I don't think there's actually true meaning in this world. I don't think anything actually is real. I think it's all in humans' heads. I think everything just kind of is what it is. Nothing is really that crazy. And I think meaning is developed in your core. Meaning is developed in your head. And so there's something in everyone that there's meaning there. And meaning can change. I'm just telling you this right now because if you think about my life, the most amount of meaning used to come from video games. And I haven't played video games in like, actually played video games in like 2 years. 3 years now. And so meaning can change. What you used to find meaningful, what you thought your life purpose was, it goes from one thing to another thing to another thing. But what I'm also starting to realize is if those moments of my life didn't happen, if I didn't play all of those video games, I wouldn't have ended up where I am now. Everything, like, it connects, like, as I said, with the connect the dot puzzle. It's all a picture frame that connects. My meaning after that was volleyball, was sports. I went so fucking all in on the gym and sports. And after that, it was work. And then I was doing mechanic work for a while in YouTube. And then after that, I went to sales. And then now I'm going to find my fucking life purpose so that I can do my life purpose with sales. And so those are like the true fucking meaning. The true meaning, there is no meaning. The true meaning is that I'm doing this shit just because I want to see what comes from it. I want to see who I become. You got desires. You have the core primal desires. And then on top of that, the main desire, the main reason you do everything, the actual thing you want to accomplish in your life. And I'm just going to put this one on you for you. Because if you're watching this channel, you probably connect. You want to reach your full potential. You want to become everything you could be. You want to become the person you could be. Not the person you want to be, not any of this bullshit. Who is the, like, biggest version of you? How far can you reach in this life? What can you develop? What goals can you reach? How far can you go? And I don't honestly, like, I think fucking people fuck this up, dude. Making a fuck ton of money, dude. Chasing core desires. Getting the girls and doing all these things. I wish people realize that's better than doing nothing. That's closer to your desire. That's closer to becoming your potential than doing fucking nothing with your life. Like, I hate that fucking shit where it's like, spirituality over everything. A part of spirituality is making the money. A part of spirituality is fucking girls. A part of all of this shit is understanding your desires, your needs, and just understanding who you are on the core. You can't skip a pillar of life to actually find the true meaning of yourself. You kind of need it all. And I've made like a huge mistake. I hope everybody knows I've been able to fuck like 18 different times in my life. Like, I've been there, you know? This is where we go into beliefs and just having shit encoded in your head. Like, I'm a fucking, like, religious. And I always thought I wanted to wait till marriage. And so every time I got to that point, I basically pussied out and ghosted. Because in my core, it was against who I was. I didn't know what to do. I was nervous. And so the only thing I could think about doing was running away from the situation. And now this video is getting fucking deep. This is like a documentary now. I'm done giving fucking advice, dude. I got no advice to give to you. Fix your life. There's your fucking advice. Get on the journey. I mean, it's just a journey. Fucking, like, the information is hardly what you need. I didn't really use much information. I just kept living my life. And, I mean, I guess I learned a lot. I read a lot of books, but we'll see. If you need somebody to learn from, just go watch actualize.org. I mean, or go watch my older content. Like, there's so much shit on there that, like, it was that journey of my life, where that was the part where I just gave everything I knew. It's true advice. I mean, none of it's actually fucking bullshit. It's just nobody's gonna listen to me anyways. So why even give advice to people that are so close-minded to the fact that a younger kid's doing better than them? Why do it? Why not just live my own life and see what other people, like, think of that? Because then it's less about me talking about, oh, do this shit with your life. And it's just like, I'm doing this. This is how I'm living my life. I'm fucking trying super hard. This is the money I make. There's nothing to be mad about. There's nothing to be like, oh, this kid's telling me how to live my life. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you how I'm living my life. I'm just telling you how I'm reaching my potential. I'm just telling you everything. Because those are the videos that help the most. Those are the videos that help me the most. Is the videos on someone else's life. What are they doing? I don't need, like, the actionable advice for me. You have to find meaning for yourself. You have to find the truth that connects with you. At the end of the day, two people are going to watch the same piece of content, and two people are going to take two different meanings from it. Two people are going to see two different principles from it. And so the thing is that's going to change them is going to be the story. The story is going to be what gives them the meaning. And watching my hero's journey, watching my fucking trajectory into life will give people meaning and show them a story that will make them go on their own story.